Hello and welcome to episode 53 of the Talk Nintendo podcast. I am one of your hosts, Casey Gibson, and alongside me tonight, as always, the one, the only, Perry Burkham.
It's the dawn of the SNES Classic.
Woo-wee!
Yeah, I'm excited to get it. Aren't you?
I am, yes, my excitement has actually grown exponentially in probably the last 2 hours, and I think you might have the answer to why.
Yeah, so last week was the big eShop Roundup, right? And it was so big we didn't have time for a news or not. I don't. We had time for
dedicated topic
for a topic of the show. But we do this time, and that's going to be at the end of our show. And what it is we're going to pick. We've already picked. We're going to discuss our top 5 most anticipated games on the SNES Classic and our bottom 5 most anticipated games each. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really fun, and I don't know about you, but as I was building my list, I definitely found it more difficult to find 5 games I was quote-unquote less excited for, than which ones I am excited for, because that lineup is pretty bumping.
For sure. So yeah, look forward to that at the end of the show.
But before we get to that, yeah, I think you've been playing something that's pretty hot off the oven right there.
Yep, I've played and 101% completed.
Donkey Kong?
Well, I don't think they even actually say 101%, but it kind of is. Yes,
crazy
I
percentages.
have been playing Image & Form's newest game, SteamWorld Dig 2. Yes. So I was very anxious.
Much anticipation.
I was anticipating this release. That's what I'm trying to say. A lot. Now, the first game, when I played it, I think my very first playthrough of SteamWorld Dig on 3DS was like 6 hours probably, or 5 or 6. And then I remember I've played this. I played it the first time, and immediately when I was done, I played it through again. And then the second playthrough was like 4 hours. Okay. Well,
shaving a couple hours off.
Yeah. Now, a few months, actually, literally the week that they announced SteamWorld Dig 2, I did the same exact thing, where I played through Dig 1, and then I played through it again in like 3 hours. So it's a short game, but it leaves you wanting more, right? That's
That's usually a good problem to have,
For sure. I think all games should be like that. Honestly, I'm like, they should leave you wanting more. They should leave you satisfied, obviously, but wanting more. Now, this new game, I was worried, though, that maybe it'll be too much, Like, they say it's going to be bigger, it's going to have bosses, it's just everything is going to be bigger and better and more weapons and blah, 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 you know what I mean? And I'm thinking, well, I kind of like the first one, because of the content-wise, like it was like a, now...
It was a good size, not overwhelming, but not like a super short experience.
Yeah, I mean, because what you have in SteamWorld Dig is you have this really satisfying gameplay of you're digging down into the ground and you're upgrading how you can dig and how you can traverse the environments. And it plays like a really nice Metroid game. It's basically like a Metroid game that you dig out where you're going, Yeah,
instead of set paths.
Yeah. And it has a really cool... it has a really well-designed environment as well that's built for it. And anyway, so... I can tell you now that I definitely feel like I want more SteamWorld Dig 2. I did not get tired of it. Now,
Well, I was
the
going to say,
game,
at least you didn't, your fears didn't come true in that sense.
right. So, yeah, I will be discussing a little spoilery stuff. Just to let you know.
All
It's
right,
not
I'll see
really
you
that,
later.
Yeah, it's not really that spoilery, but I mean, I'm just saying if people are listening, you can check out our timestamps and skip forward if you want. But yeah, I the game is the thing that I noticed, halfway through. I'm like, you know what? This game really isn't that much different from the first Dig. Okay, so that's one thing I want to say. It's more of Dig. Yeah, it's good. The game, the big difference is the style. I mean, I only played Dig on
The 3DS, right?
3DS, yeah. And I think I have it on the Wii U. Now that I think it might have been in a Humble Bundle, maybe. I think it is actually. Now, I should look at that. But the big difference here, the visual and the art upgrade. I mean, the artistic look is. I mean, the aesthetics are way different. More painter, more just really pretty. I mean, beautiful colors, beautiful design. Now, it has that kind of flash look that I can't explain really, but because this isn't pixels or anything, but things kind of like Rayman Legends has the same kind of idea where I cannot explain.
No, I
how
think
it looks,
I know,
but
because usually, like, that sort of always gives me the vibe that it's like a cheaper thing.
yeah,
Like, you know
I
what I
mean,
mean? Like that flash, like, I feel
yeah,
like is. No, I know
like
what you mean, and I'm looking at
yeah.
screens, and I could sort of see where you're coming from in that
mean,
sense.
Here's the thing: is
Not that
just
I
like,
think it looks cheap, but
no, exactly. But like the movement, is just kind of like it's kind of flowy and not like let me compare it to like okay, it has a lot of momentum in the movement, and it's kind of everything is kind of always going back and forth, very very cartoony, very like Wario, the Wario game we played, Wario Land Shake It, kind of like that.
Oh yeah, artsy.
Except that had that really hand drawn, really cool art style, which this does. I'm not saying that's what I mean. I don't want to put it down. Like it's really a pretty game. I mean, I could see some people not liking the art direction a little just because of like what I'm saying, but just a gorgeous game. Very cool. Big map. Just everything's kind of bigger. Honestly though, the boss fights, there's not a lot of them. I thought there would be, especially after playing the demo from PAX. But there's not a lot. But honestly, it's a really solid game. It's very like you can't stop playing, because you're
I feel
constantly getting upgrades.
Yeah, with Dig, I actually only first really played Dig when we were going to PAX because we knew we were going to be looking at Dig 2, so I wanted to sort of obviously have a source of reference to know what's going on. And yeah, it definitely has that vibe where it's like, well, maybe I'll just go a little bit deeper just to check out what's in this little area, and then I'm going to call it quits. And then all of a sudden you get there, and it's like, oh, well, there's some crystal. Let me go grab that. And then all of a sudden then you see like a cave or, like I don't want to say cave, like a little area you can go into.
Yeah, cave, yeah.
Yeah, and then you're like, ooh, okay, let me do that. And I feel like it almost like Breath of the Wild, where it was just like, let me just do this one more thing. And then they keep teasing you along with something else that you're like, oh, okay, like fine, one more, and that obviously is a really rewarding gameplay and
very rewarding.
It's good to hear that they sort of captured that feeling in 2 as well.
Yes, I mean very like okay. So the other huge difference is now they have the cog system, upgrade system. Very cool. Now you can find cogs throughout the game. You'll find little artifacts type things. It'll be anything, like literally anything.
Anything made out of metal.
No, just like I can't think of it, like anything. A cake. Like cake will be one. There's just tons of just funny things. But then there's also cogs that you can get. Now cogs you can use and then add them to your weapons or items to make them better. I think they had that thing in Heist, in SteamWorld Heist, right? Where you can kind of add upgrades to things. And, oh, that's so much fun. Because, like, for instance, one of them you can, like, for 3 cogs or 4 cogs, you can make all of the ore that you mine, like, float to you, like a magnet. So that
that's
like
nice.
oh
Yeah.
super nice, yeah. And it's funny because like you'll just be like coming down to a mine that you had previously mined before, and you'll see this thing like like
Start
this
sucking
ore
in metals.
like yeah no yeah, like you'll see like one of the things that you missed before that you had already mined like floating like and like trying to get to you, but like it can't get to you, so it's like just like sticking to the wall and like trying to
Oh,
help
okay, so
me,"
you still
know?
need to clear open the path for it.
Yeah, exactly. Like it has to have an open path to get to you. So you know, yeah, so it's kind of funny. But just stuff like that. Stuff like one of them is if you hit your enemy with a pickaxe. If you kill enemies with a pickaxe, you'll get money on the spot for them. And that kind of stuff is like whoa, like that's a game changer,
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of these cog upgrades. It's like whoa, like I am the ultimate powerful machine thing now. It's like because you're going through platforming and stuff. And it's like, man, I really wish I could do this one thing that would make things so much better. And then you'll find out later that the cogs you actually can. So very very fun game. Honestly, I really love the game. I 100%ed it in like 13 hours. I beat if you 100% the game, you get a post-game challenge thing. That's really fun and actually incredibly challenging. And but yeah, all in all, it's like 13 hours, so it's not a big game. It's $20 on the eShop.
I would like when you had mentioned that it wasn't like that it was not as big as you were anticipating. 13 hours still seems like a pretty good amount of time to me for, especially like you said, a $20 game. The first one took you, 6 hours, you said, the first time through?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, double that is a pretty significant,
Yeah, it's
upgrade, I would imagine.
about the same money, because I think the original was like $9 or $10 even. It's something like that. But, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like you get what you pay for, I think, with this. I don't think it's a huge bargain, but it's a really good game. So, you know what I mean? So it's not, I don't think it's a cheap game. I don't think it's an expensive game. It's just right there, $20. I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty high price for a game, for an indie. Honestly, I think $14.99 would have been a better price point, but they're racing up the eShop charts, so I think they made the right decision. So
Now, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, talking differences from 1 to 2, you said it very much feels like more of Dig 1, which, like you said, is obviously a good thing because most people really enjoyed Dig 1. Now, all right, it's clearly bigger. Are there more? I mean, there's this cog system you've mentioned, obviously. Now, are there more weapons? Like, I know you get the drill and all that stuff in the first game. Are there more things to not just like? Is it the same base weapons that you can upgrade, or are there more weapons and items you can actually get that weren't originally in the first one?
there are not a lot of more different weapons. There are like a few that are not in the original that are more for traversing rather than attacking. But yeah, I mean but then when you add in the upgrades you can put on those, it's just kind of like exponentially bigger, like the idea, like the stuff that you can do differently. So like I said, the cog system really makes it a lot more different and fun, and
Makes it deeper, yeah.
Deeper, there you go. Yeah.
Get it? Because you're digging?
Go kill yourself.
Bitch. Well, that wasn't very nice, Jimmy.
But yeah, so I definitely recommend it. I think it's definitely lived up to what people have been hyping it for. It took over my Metroid playing, mostly because it was on Switch.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that the Metroid Samus Returns is on 3DS, just because of like when I take it to work, like it's like, well, I'm gonna take my Switch to work anyway to play Splatoon, so I'm just gonna take my Switch to work, and then I won't take my 3DS. It's just, I don't know. It's just kind of like that anyway.
No,
but,
I know what you mean. It's
it's
easy to play on the Switch right now.
Exactly.
So appealing,
Exactly.
I actually do have a question before we move on from Dig.
Mm-hmm.
Did and this, you might not be able to really answer this because PAX was a while ago, but did it feel any different, from PAX to the final build, like whether it be movement? I know in the PAX demo you did like just a little bit of digging into an area, and then you end up just fighting a boss.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is the very first part of the game.
Okay.
And it, to my recollection, it did not feel any different. But like you said, that was in
that was a while ago.
March, and I played. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, but I don't remember it feeling. It felt the same, and it felt really good at PAX. So, yeah.
Yeah, maybe they were just at that point into. They were just polishing up and whatnot,
Yeah.
Yeah, because it seemed like a really. I mean, it looked pretty polished, and granted that it was just a small chunk at PAX, but I mean, I do like how the game looks. I have not picked this game up yet, just because there's there's so many other games that
I know.
Oh God, but
Golf Story comes out, and
don't even remind me.
I know. It's like I don't even have time for this dang podcast.
Yeah, I know. It's no, but this one for me will likely be because I feel like Dig 1 went on sale quite a bit, or maybe just because the Humble Bundles and whatnot. I feel like it got to the point where it's pretty easy to get. I'm hoping Dig 2 eventually, maybe even down to 15. I would. That might be a spot I jump in on it if.
I think that's a great idea. Right. I really, I really do think that 2018 can no way be as amazing and crazy filled as 2017.
Well,
I'm almost hoping.
Yeah, we need those games.
yeah. Dang it, Nintendo! Too many games. People are gonna be mad at Nintendo now. You're releasing too many good games.
Yeah, we hate you.
Yeah.
We want the days of the Wii U, damn it.
Exactly.
No, I think 2017 will go down. I mean, I think for all gaming, including PS4, Xbox, there's just been like a deluge of great games, and obviously
what's a PS4?
Yeah, and especially as a Switch or / Nintendo gamer, this is easily the best year I can remember in a very, very long time, and it's going to be up there with possibly the best year of all time for Nintendo gaming.
Yep. But so I'm glad for SteamWorld Dig 2 that it was a game I could play and get it done with and have a really fun time and support the indies, and also I will definitely play it through again, like I know I will, and I can look forward to the next game or maybe DLC or something. I don't know. But anyway, now we recorded some Mario Kart challenges.
We sure did.
Yeah, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that is a wonderful game.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game, and it's funny because when we were getting ready for the show, I'm like, man, I've been playing so many games the last week or so, but I can't really talk about a lot of them because they are review games that aren't out yet. One is a 3DS game. I'm pretty sure I can mention the name, but it's a remake of a popular old game that's coming out soon. So I'll definitely be talking about that next week, as well as some other Switch stuff coming out. So while I have had a busy week of playing games, I don't have much to talk about. But as you said, we did some challenge recordings, and we played some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and we played quite a bit there, and then I ended up playing a little bit more afterwards, and it's just that game is so good to just jump back in and play for even an hour.
It's such a great game. Oh yeah, I had so much fun playing with you.
Yeah, no, and it's just what's great about it is you could pick it back up and it just feels like you never put it down. I feel like it's just so easy to get in, play, get out, forget about it. Excuse me. So
yeah, it's so accessible, and that works so well as a handheld too.
So I was going back and I was just running through some of my favorite tracks. The Cloud Top one, I forget the name of it, but when you're going through and you go on the vine and stuff, it's just these courses are just so beautiful, and I mean obviously the whole game is just incredible graphically, but then it's jam-packed with such a huge amount of content. So many tracks, throwbacks from the old days, then obviously a bunch of new ones. Arguably like the best value DLC probably of all time, or very well up there. You know what I mean, for paid DLC. What was it? I mean obviously with Deluxe it came all included, but going back to the Wii U, what was it? I think I paid like $12.50 for both packs or something like that. On when you bought both, you got a little discount.
Yeah, I think it was like $13 bucks. Yeah, $12.50.
And it's just like it adds what, 4 new tracks?
Oh, basically a whole new campaign.
Yeah, it adds
4 new cups, 16 tracks. So
50% of the base game is added on top of that.
Right.
So it's like
what they used to be. Like what.
Yeah, that would have
Mario
been
Kart games used to be.
Yeah, that would have been a full-fledged release is for DLC. And obviously, for any people who, might have skipped down the Wii U and just picked up the Switch version, obviously like it's just perfect. But we were talking a little bit about it, and I figured since, I didn't really have a ton to talk about today, we could sort of touch on just the idea of DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, if there would ever be any, and how the reaction might be to that. I think if they were to announce DLC now, like, hey, the reception of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has been fantastic. We're so happy with the sales, and everyone's having a great time with it, that we want to do another DLC, $9.99. Let's just say 2 extra tracks. And 2 extra racers, you know what I mean? From whatever, from whatever franchises you want to. You could ride as Pikmin. That would be amazing. That'd be worth the price of admission, right?
Yeah. Oh, totally, dude. Olimar with a Pikmin stage where they're super small and going through the grass and stuff.
Dude, that would be amazing.
It would be. It'd be phenomenal.
Like, yeah, racing around and like all these big trees and stuff are actually just blades of grass.
Oh yeah, and have all those Bulborbs walking around and I know, man. See, okay, now so let's talk about DLC. So for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it's weird. I don't think they're going to I just the reason I don't think so is I feel like we would have heard about it. Now I know that's funny because the DLC for 8 came out of nowhere, right, on the Wii U, and so they could definitely still do it. I just think the only reason is I think that they're working on the next Mario Kart, and this was a stopgap, hurry up, we need a game to fill this time slot switch thing, and that they have something else planned with the same team, and it could be that Nintendo Kart. Okay, so let me put that out there that I think that it's probably not going to happen, but let's say it does happen. Like you said, 2 cups, whatever. People's reactions. Now, you think sometimes, you've told me, that people would be upset at this?
Well, see, my original thought was, let's say we're back in March and they're about to, Mario Kart's coming out in, 3 weeks. And they go, hey, here's Mario Kart Deluxe. You know what I mean? It's the deluxe version. You get all the DLC from the Wii U plus the base game, all these tracks, some new battle modes, all these double items, all this cool stuff, and then they're like, it's the deluxe version, it's called Deluxe, and then all of a sudden they're like, but what on top of that, we're also going to have DLC. $10 this that, and it'll come out in November. I think that would have been bad because people would be like, well, why are you repackaging this game, giving us some stuff like the battle mode and the double items, and calling it a deluxe version only to give us more DLC later? Then it's not really like, why didn't you have this DLC ready and just make this the deluxe version? You know what I mean? I think if they if all of a sudden now they were like, or maybe let's say after the holidays they're like, hey, we're going to release a $10 add two new cups to Mario Kart 8. It's going to come out in February, and it's going to be great. I think the reception now wouldn't be as bad because then it would be like, well, this is truly something they thought about afterwards. I think
right.
if you were announced
DLC
for an upcoming game, especially a port, with the old DLC, like it just would have seemed like, oh yeah,
it is a weird prospect.
Yeah, we're trying to nickel and dime you. Where like this would feel more like genuine, that it was like, all right, well, we want to do more, and like enough period between the release and the DLC. You know what I mean? Like they truly made all of this after its release, and it wasn't like them holding something back just to make more money.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you said that makes complete sense, because I feel like if they would have announced DLC before it came out, it's almost like, well, are you going to release this DLC for the Wii U? Because I've already I've already paid for the Wii U version and the DLC on the Wii U version, so I'm not going to buy the whole game and then pay for DLC on this. They're going to just use that as another excuse to say, like, well, why would I get it then? And then also feel entitled for it to be on the Wii U. But it's funny that they could have been working on it and just not told us, and tell us now. And now no one cares because it's new content for their new game that they have. So it's
optics,
Yeah, it's like people's lack of understanding. Like, to me, if they would announce DLC, I'm like, well, that's awesome, because it's already deluxe because it comes with all the DLC before. Like, it's already a really good value, plus battle mode and all the little changes. Like, that's awesome. And we're going to get more coming up. It's like, well, we're not entitled to anything more than the DLC that's already out, so that makes sense. But I completely understand the point that you were saying before. I just think it's funny that they literally can just tell us now, and now it doesn't seem like a big deal.
Yeah, it really is funny that, I guess one really does come off as sort of prying money out of your loyal fan base versus like, oh, we're revisiting this and giving you more because we know you love it. But,
right.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, like you said, I don't think there's going to be any more DLC for Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, only because I think they're working on the next one.
Yeah, see, now that's sort of interesting because, like, I sort of agree. I think it will still be called Mario Kart because that name has too much cachet to abandon it. But I could totally see it being like Mario Kart All-Stars, and it just has like everyone in it. You know what I mean? So then this way, it's got Link, it's got Zelda, it's got Samus. It's like literally everyone you could ever imagine. Throw it in there instead of getting like, here's 18 Shy Guys with different colors. Which, don't get me wrong, I love me some green Shy Guy.
How dare you use that as an example?
Shy Guy's my boy. But no, I think that episode 53, book it down. Mario Kart All-Stars. It's happening.
Yeah, I think that's a great name, and just because that makes sense. But I think that definitely is where they were already headed. Like, they literally have a Zelda track, multiple F-Zero tracks, Excitebike, Animal Crossing.
Like I said, the only one they're missing is Pikmin. I can't believe that. If you think about it, they could have made such a clever and fun.
Oh, and then they could do Star Fox Rainbow Road, and I mean, it's just
Star Fox 2 level.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So, yeah, very cool. I love talking about Mario Kart. I love playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That is something that when we get around to doing a Talk Nintendo community Switch night, that'll definitely be in the rotation.
And it's just a game that, well, first off, it's great just because, so many people can play at one time. But it really is just a game anyone can have fun with, Like, even if you're bad at Mario Kart, the items are going to level it out, for the most part. So, no, it was definitely fun to get back into it, I got to say.
Yeah, totally. Well, let's move on now. We actually have a little special thing here on the What We've Been Playing. We have an email from a listener named Ryan. His Twitter handle is @TheRyanDS. I bet he likes Nintendo DS.
I bet he sounds like a good man.
Yeah, because DS is a good thing. So, but we're gonna read his email out. Because he told us about a game he's been playing, and we actually asked about this last week on our eShop Roundup, and he answered.
Yes.
And let this be a lesson to the rest of you. All right. So anyway, he says, or Casey, why don't you read it?
Sure. Hey boys, love the show, big fan, all that. I purchased and played Pan Pan on Switch, so I figured I'd do my part and write in about this charming little nindy. The subtitle is A Tiny Big Adventure, and that's fairly apt. You play as Pan and have to search for a number of gizmos to repair his spaceship after it crash lands. The game is essentially one big puzzle where you are allowed to roam freely as you try to solve all the smaller puzzles scattered about, and each one unlocks a new area, a new tool, or a piece for another puzzle. It's really cute and a lot of fun to solve, but also very short. I finished the whole game within about an hour and a half, and if you know all the solutions, you could probably clear it in less than 10 minutes.
Whoa.
Despite its brevity, I think it's a good value, and the Switch version is about half the price of the Steam version, which is something I've never seen before. Keep up the good work, boys. The Ryan DS. Thank you, Ryan. That was awesome for you to write in.
So basically, 36 fragments of Pan Pan.
Yeah, except it sounds like he enjoyed this one.
Oh yeah, and I've seen the art for this. Looks really nice, and I believe this is a $5 download.
Yep, $5. Yep.
$5. I mean, yeah, sure, an hour and a half. If it's a nice, well done game, giddy up on that.
Yeah, I like
that sounds
the art
cool.
style.
I like the art style. I like the idea of a big puzzle with, an open world with smaller puzzles. And that's fun. So, but obviously, if you, probably the replayability isn't too good.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Because clearly, no one's gonna know the solutions going in unless you look them up. But
right.
No, I mean honestly, for me, like a $5 game, because I don't drink too much anymore. But like when you go out to the bar in New York, at least a beer is $5.
Right.
So it's like I would always sort of equate to like I spent $5 in this game. That's the price of a drink out on the town. You know what I mean? And
right.
like if it gets me an hour and a half of a really good hour and a half, and I enjoyed that experience, like to me that's $5 well spent.
And on top of that, you can support a business and a people and community that you enjoy. So yeah, totally. So that is Pan.
And it's even
Switch.
$5, so they know about the coins. They're trying to get you your coins.
They're not jerks and did $4.99.
Yeah. Then we would have been like, sorry, Ryan, there would be no discussion of Pan on this episode.
Yes, but yes, thank you for writing in. What we'll probably do is if people write in and about games before we do the eShop Roundup, we'll probably include it in there. But if not, we will do it in the What We've Been Playing, and it will be what we've all been playing.
Yes, no, this was great, and feel free anyone to write in with game impressions. We'll be happy to read them out.
Awesome. Well, let's take a little break now, and when we come back, it's another fairly loaded eShop Roundup. So, yep, we got some lot of horses.
Yeehaw!
And let's just keep. Are you stopping? Okay. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, and we are back, and it is time for the
eShop Roundup.
Yeehaw. Yep, that's right. And it is time for the Wii U download. So what do we got up first, Case?
It's always a good week when you've got some Wii U download games. And kicking us off this week, a TurboGrafx 16 game, Shockman. Now,
yes.
This is, it looks like, what's it, a platformer? Is it a shooter?
It looks exactly like Mega Man.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Like
yeah, it sure does.
Mega Man X, but like TurboGrafx 16 edition.
Yeah, like cheap not to say the game looks cheap, but a cheap knockoff of Mega Man.
Yeah, the quote I pulled from it. It's been 2 years since Arnold and Sonia were made into Shockmen. I just thought that was funny. Like, just taken completely out of context, whatever. But yeah,
definitely
looks nice.
This definitely seems like their answer to Mega Man, you know what I mean? For sure. Like big time.
Right.
And that's not a bad thing. Mega Man's a good game, so I could understand trying to emulate it. Some cool enemy design. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
What's that? $5.99 if anyone's interested.
Yep, on the old Wii U. And we have another TurboGrafx 16 game. This is the other thing for the Wii U. Best name ever. This goes up with Shaq Fu. Two-Man Fu. Two-Man Fu for $5.99.
I mean that. I control the sacred towers of the Egg Roll Dynasty, and you will soon be my servant.
The Egg Roll Dynasty. That's amazing. Now, if you look at screenshots of this game, it's just like, what in the heck?
The character models are huge.
Yeah, and they're like
in a good way.
They're like round and it reminds me of Mole Mania when I look at it. Very similar.
There's some porcupines.
Looks like looks like a puzzly game. I don't really know anything about it.
A novel action puzzle game.
Okay, yeah. So I think it is like Mole Mania, in that sense.
Yeah, here you go. The rules are simple. Your objective is to clear each round. Your objective is to clear each round by pushing or pulling 4 colored orbs onto their matching colored tiles.
Yeah, I mean that's just
it seems like
Mole Mania where you're throwing cabbages into the holes.
Yeah. No, it looks actually looks pretty cool. I'm seeing where they're talking about 4 panels corresponding balls to that color, and then you just gotta deal with some enemies. Yeah.
Just remember, Casey, it's up to you as an apprentice female monk to free the towers and lift Chu's curse.
That Egg Roll Dynasty, man, it's bad business.
Yep. But speaking of bad business, let's move over to the 3DS download.
I have a feeling you're gonna give this first one to me.
Yes.
Let me try and read this. Frutakia,
I think.
Frutakia?
Let's say Frutakia.
Frutakia 2. No, there's no L in there. Frutakia 2. I like Frutakia. Frutakia space 2.
Okay.
Frutakia 2. $3.95. This is a match 3 game. Looks like there's achievements.
Yeah, you can get achievements like you've got 10,000 points in this thing, and it looks really
like a slot
ultra
machine.
simple. Yeah, it looks like a slot machine. Yeah, kind of weird looking,
Well, there you go.
In that way.
Slots puzzler. Match 3 or more
go.
cute animals and level up in the 3rd dimension.
Wonderful.
That's amazing. Yeah. A strange price, $3.95.
I don't think I've seen that price before.
Yeah, that's a new one.
Yep. But anyway, let's move on to a game that came out of nowhere on the 3DS.
It's a goodie.
36 Fragments of Midnight. The hot new Switch game.
But it is cheaper here, I think, right? Or no, is it?
Nope.
No, it's the same price.
$2.99. On the Switch, you get an HD, but on the 3DS, you get it in 3D. I checked the screenshots, and it's literally 2 planes.
Just the background.
The back and the front. But, whatever. It looks nice. I mean, at
least they
pixels don't
they
look
weren't
as
lazy about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally got to give them credit for it. So, if you heard us talk about that, either last podcast or the one before, I think it was the last one. But
I believe. Yeah, I
very
believe it was
very
last.
quick game, But Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and take the next one?
Guide the Ghost for $1.49. Now, here, I'm going to read the whole blurb they've got on the Nintendo site here because
All right.
I think it sums it up nicely. In this exciting game, you must help your friendly yellow ghost get through all the obstacles. Be careful. Hit a wall, and it's game over. Endless fun for the whole family. Now, you might say, okay, that actually sounds like a pretty good idea, right? Now,
Okay,
I'm
that
looking at a
sounds like endless fun.
screenshot. This yellow ghost friend of yours is actually just a yellow square. And
It's literally a square with no eyes, nothing, just a square.
it's literally a square, and it looks like it looks like Pong. Like, if you can imagine like a Pong, the paddles and like the ball, that's pretty much the material, that this game's working with, and just sort of reshapes it a little bit.
And it looks like Flappy Bird vertically.
It's got touch controls though, where you can use the D-pad. But they do say it's endless fun for the whole family. So if you have a family and you're thinking about endless fun, $1.49 buys it for you.
All right, sounds good. Now, did you remember that the 3DS has a virtual console?
What is a virtual console?
Well, it's kind of like the arcade archives.
Is it like a 3DS Classic Mini?
Kind of, if that helps you. Yes, Pokemon Gold and Silver have come out.
Woo!
I can't believe it. It's so cool. I think it's a little too late, but should have come out last year. That's okay. They're $9.99 each, and I know what you're thinking, but Perry, I only speak French. or Perry.
Mais I'm
I
only... I don't even know. I haven't taken Spanish in so long.
But I'm not even going to attempt it. I'm not going to offend anyone here. I only speak Spanish or French. You're in luck. There are versions for you to download in those languages. So,
like you said, I think they really missed the ball. I mean, I think, honestly, 3DS Virtual Console, this is probably going to do very well, considering probably the last year of Virtual Console sales on the 3DS.
yeah.
But they really should have gotten these out of the door pre-Switch. You know what I mean? I think I went back and I bought yellow when it came out. But yeah, you'd think. Now, a bonus offer for purchasing one of those games, trainers will get a code that unlocks the mythical Pokemon Celebi in their Pokemon Sun or Moon game. Or they can hold on to the code and use it in the upcoming Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon. So that is a nice little incentive to go back and purchase it if, especially I know people get very, very into the Pokemon games. They want to have all these great Pokemon. So
Yeah.
for $10, you could buy yourself a Celebi for Moon or Sun. And the bonus, you get a game to play.
There you go. All right. Well, you know what time it is now.
Switch time!
It's time to switch over to the Switch download. And up first, I wanted to... I got a quote last week because we didn't really know what Lego Worlds was, and I felt bad for not letting people know. Because it looked nice, but we just didn't know anything about it. Now this is $29.99, and Adam Abu Nasser from the site says, he gave me a quote. He said, "Lego Worlds is a Me Too money grab, uncharacteristic of the Lego brand. The Sims on GameCube had better building controls." So
See, that's
it looks like
disappointing
it's
to hear.
not good. I read other reviews as well, and yep, it looks like it's just not a good first foray into that kind of game, which is interesting because you'd think that they learned from Minecraft and other things that they could make something like that, but you never know. I bet sales are going to be really good no matter what. I've seen people on my friends list playing it. And
it looks so good too. It's a shame that from all everything we've heard, it seems to not be. Well, I'm just looking at screenshots even.
Oh, I know. It looks beautiful, and the idea is such a great idea, especially with the Lego brand. You know what I mean? Like it really is. I like it. It really is uncharacteristic.
I wonder.
I figured they
you know
good
what?
Stuff coming.
Like Minecraft has done such a great job of sort of monopolizing that genre. Obviously, they sort of created it there with like the whole open world, just go and use blocks and build whatever you want. And I guess, I couldn't tell you exactly when Minecraft came out, but obviously probably close to 10 years, maybe more. Actually, now I'm sort of curious. Do you have any idea?
I think 2008, maybe 2009, 2008.
Yeah. All right. Looks like 2009. So you know what I mean, like pushing on. What's that? 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
So they've had 8 years to refine it to get it to feel as good as it does.
And that's
now.
like an indie company that started Minecraft. But yeah, you're right. They
so
had a
I'm
long
thinking,
time.
maybe because I believe it's developed by TT Games, developer TT Games for Lego Worlds. Maybe they thought, like, oh, it won't be that hard, let's get into it, let's make it, and maybe they just found out, like, ooh, this is tougher than we thought. Maybe it was literally just, let's push something out, like, everyone's going to be playing Minecraft anyway, maybe we'll get some sales and call it a day. Because normally, I've played some of the other Lego games, and for the most part, they usually do a very good job of making fun games that, for better or worse, control pretty darn well. Like Lego City Undercover was a fun game. I played a little Lego Dimensions, was also pretty fun. But yeah, a little disappointing.
Nerd.
Yeah. Loser. What are you two playing with Legos?
Yeah, so that was that came out retail. And I think this next one also came out retail.
Yes.
Which is very interesting.
Saldum? Is that Soldum? Saldum?
I think. Let's go with that.
It's a drop-down puzzle game, and we actually do have a quote. Well, first for that, it is $29.99 as well.
Yep.
And Donald Terrio said, he reviewed the game, and he said, mildly interesting puzzle game with a bit of a high price tag. So...
That's exactly what it looks like on the eShop, too.
Yeah, no, it looks like it could be a fun little puzzle game. $30, yeah, seems a little steep.
Seems steep when there's like some Neo Geo games that look better for $8. I don't know,
It
but
seems
I'm
like
sure this has more, good features and stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking at, there's easy mode for beginners to start, then 200 levels, unlocked different stuff, then there's a challenge mode. So it seems like there is quite a bit of content, but yeah, $30 might scare it away, especially if people look at the screens. Like you said, it sort of looks
an amazing looking game.
It looks sort of generic puzzle game with anime, side panels. Not to say that's a bad thing, but $30 on that might scare people away.
Exactly. So, but speaking of Neo Geo games, we have our weekly hamster toss. Which actually we actually have another one too. At the end here that's just snuck in today.
Ooh.
So, and it's probably the most exciting of all, but we'll get to them. Art. Okay, now if if I were to say, like, Casey, make up a name for a Neo Geo game that would come to the Switch eShop, make up a name. What would you say?
Well, I would be one of two names. The first one would be The Art of Shooting, and the second one would be Art of Fighting.
Well, you are in luck, because Art of Fighting has come out for $7.99, and I think it features the biggest sprites of a fighter I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's, normally in a 2D fighter, you've got some wiggle room, in front of you, behind you, you try and play with some spacing to try and sort of bait the other player to sort of get themselves in a vulnerable position. But in The Art of Fighting, you two are literally almost hugging, and there's not much room to move around, so it's just kick and punch, I guess. No, these sprites,
it's artistic.
I mean, they look good, the sprites. They're just ginormous.
And I bet on the arcade, it's like, sheesh.
My favorite is this guy. He's riding a motorcycle, a nice big hog down the side road, and then they've got like a zoomed-in close-up of his face and his hair whipping in the wind.
My favorite is the one where it's like a side mini game where you're chopping ice.
Oh yeah. Oh, so good.
Yes. Yep. So, another fighting game from the Neo Geo arcade archive. So, now this next game looks quite fun and interesting, and it just kind of came out the same week.
I feel like it's had a lot of hype too.
Yeah. Now this is Thimbleweed Park. It's $19.99. It's an adventure game, and I asked Mr. Nindy himself, Justin Nation, for a quote here, and he gave it to us, and he said, "Thimbleweed Park is a terrific throwback to the classic LucasArts adventures and shows that they can still be relevant and fun today. For a newer generation unfamiliar with the genre, either they'll be bored silly by the pacing, or they'll get hooked by the quirks and humor and become fans. Playing on the Switch is terrific as the touchscreen in handheld mode is absolutely the preferred way to go." That's interesting. "It is a best of genre game if people are willing to take the plunge."
Some high praise right there.
Yeah, and I didn't know there's touchscreen for handheld. That's awesome, especially for a point and click, you know?
That's perfect, and especially you'd think, with the Switch, it would be so easy to just not include that and then just use the excuse of, well, they're going to be playing this in docked mode, so they won't even be able to use the touch controls,
Yep,
But it's nice to see a developer, go above and beyond to give that option.
And this is that, what's his name? Of LucasArts, or I forgot his name. Is it Gilbert? Is it
Ron Gilbert and Gary Winnick, creators of Monkey Island and Manic Mansion.
Gotcha. So that's who made this game.
Yep.
And they also did The Cave on Wii U. I don't know if you remember that game.
I do. I didn't play it, but I remember the name.
Yeah. Anyway, check that out. It has a really cool artistic pixel style. I know that is it Mr. Panda has been raving about it on Twitter as well?
It might be. I've definitely heard a lot of really good things about this game. Unfortunately for me, I'm not really a fan of point and click adventure games. And especially at $20, I'm not going to do it just because I feel like I would ultimately play it for just a tiny little bit and then forget about it. But before we move on, key features on the Nintendo website page. It sort of talks about a neo-noir mystery set in 1987, 5 playable characters. And then I scroll down a little bit and it goes, "A joke every 2 minutes, ... guaranteed." With a little asterisk next to it. And then you go to the bottom, it says, "Not a guarantee." So
that's awesome.
So it seems like they're taking a lot of care. Even the small details like making sure the details page has enough on there. I can't stand when people work on these games for so long and they take such care and pride in them. And then, when it comes to the storefront page where you're trying to pitch your game to someone who might not know what it is, and they don't take the time to come up with a thoughtful, provoking, piece of, text here for us to read and bring the gamer in, you know what I mean?
I know that. You know why? It's because everyone says you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. People say that, but you always judge a book by its cover. It's not something you can not.
Yeah, it's just
help
it happens.
But do.
And
that's just part of it.
It just seems like why you work years on this, slaving. It's your job. Yep. You're probably from when you wake up to when you go to bed. It's probably either working on it or thinking about your game, and then all of a sudden when it comes down to selling it, you take the lazy approach out. It's like, it's like you were on the 1 yard line and you stopped running for the touchdown.
So the lesson here is, for goodness sake, always make good book covers.
Make me laugh, dang it.
Yep. Yeah. No. Yeah. So that seemed like we were kind of down on that. No, that game looks great. That might be a game on a sale I'll pick up. So. That was Thimbleweed Park.
Now this next game we talked a little bit about before, and that is
SteamWorld Dig 2.
I want to say it, dang it.
Sorry,
no, I'm
go
kidding.
Ahead. No, go ahead.
SteamWorld Dig 2 for $19.99. Now, obviously, Perry sang its praises before, and we also had Matt West and Don Koopman write reviews for the website. I believe...
Very good reviews.
Yeah, I believe one was a 9.5, and I believe Don gave it a perfect 10.
That's right.
He absolutely loved the game, so...
Right.
I feel like it's been pretty universal praise across the board for SteamWorld Dig 2, so definitely worth checking out.
Except for me.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I love the game too.
Now we got more Lego.
Yeah, there's tons of Legos games. The Lego Ninjago movie video game, which is a great name for something.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. It was like the Lego movie, the video game. I remember that.
I know that's not an indication of how good or bad a game might be, but man, that just makes it sound like an old licensed crappy game,
Yeah.
The movie,
Maybe that's
the
what they're going
video
for.
game.
Yeah. Maybe they're going for that old school. But anyway, I don't really know anything about this at all. I know it's $59.99 and it's Legos and it's Ninjago. I don't know what that is, but
Ninjago's I think one of I've seen Ninjago all over the place. I think that's just one of their how they do Batman, like Lego Batman and stuff like that. I think Ninjago is just like their own original IP that they have built characters in a world around.
Yeah.
And I think it plays like most Lego games. So if you've played, Lego Batman or one of the other Lego games, you probably know how it feels, and it's more so dealing with if you're into the Ninjago aesthetic and story.
Yeah. Now, another game that I don't know anything about. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 for Nintendo Switch is the official name for $49.99. Now, what I do know is I think it's a fighting game.
Now, what I do know is that I might know. Yeah, I think it's a fighting game. Let's see, you can play up to 6 players simultaneously over local wireless. That's pretty cool. You can play online, 3v3 matches.
Yeah, and you can play a local with switch to switch wireless.
Boom.
Very cool. Check it out if you like Dragon Ball, if you like Xenoverse, if you like the number 2. Check it out. Now, this next game is another game that
I know a little bit about this game.
Yeah, you go for it.
And that is Pokken Tournament DX for $59.99. Now we've got a quote here from David Lloyd, and then I'll give my little spiel on it after I read his. David says, "Perfect game for someone who is serious about fighting games. It's designed so that someone who takes the time to learn all the systems is going to dominate online. Experts that play each other will know that the winner outsmarted the other and not be based on randomly generated factors." Now, yeah, this game it's a fighting game, but what's interesting about it is it shifts from a 2D to a 3D fighter in match. So there
is there anything that forces it, or is it just random?
I'm trying to think back.
Timing
I believe it's like if you use a certain move, it activates into 3D mode and vice versa.
Okay.
And it's interesting because it gives you sort of the best of both worlds as far as if you like 2D fighting versus 3D fighting, and I thought it was pretty fun. It's actually funny. Caitlin loves it. It's like one of her favorite games, and you know what it is? There's for the Wii U I got it. There are not a ton of Pokemon to fight with, which is a little disappointing. Because it would be, obviously Pokemon, there's so many of them that you'd imagine a fighter, you could have so many different possibilities. But you also got to factor in the balancing and, it's not like you can copy and cut different Pokemon in and just use the same skill sets. So I understand. Right. But DX did add a few new fighters. I believe they were fighters that were on the arcade version of Pokken Tournament, but that never came out to the Wii U version. So, they're new to the home console. And there is a demo available if it does interest you, so you could try it out.
The demo is kind of annoying because you have 15 plays you can do on it, but you'll play through a thing and it'll just kick you back to the start screen. It's like, I don't want to set it back up again and play another thing. It's like, just let me play. I'm not going to play this 15 times. But you're going to make the 2 times that I do play or the 3 times really annoying. But that's okay.
Now,
it's a very pretty looking game.
Yeah, it looks really nice. And I was just going to say one last piece on it before we move on. It does get a little repetitive. Like the single player campaign is sort of like you take your Pokemon, you go in and you fight in a tournament, you work your way up in like the ranks, you win that one, then you move to the next league. And you do that again and then the next league. And as the leagues get more difficult, you're fighting more, battles, and it's just battles over and over and over again. So it does get a little grindy, like I said, there's only so many Pokemon, so you start facing the same, Pokemon over again.
Right. There's no volleyball, there's no hoops.
No volleyball to break it up. But it does have online play, so, if you try the demo and you really like the gameplay and you think you could, you're down to play online or have some friends, it is definitely a pretty fun game.
Also, I think it looks like, if you have your Joy-Cons, I think it's a game that, could easily be played and you wouldn't feel too nerfed by a single Joy-Con. So, I know they really showed that off in the announcement trailer, but playing, Joy-Con co-op local could be something also.
Could be a good option,
yeah. For kids when they come out with that headrest stand for the cars. Which, honestly, that would actually be a pretty useful thing.
They better release those.
Yeah.
I was lied to.
Okay. Well, we got one more game left. 2 more games,
I was
going
to say, whoa, you almost forget the most important release of the week.
Whoa, Betsy. So our second to last game, Cinemora EX. That's how I'm pronouncing it. It's probably wrong.
Cinemora X, I think. EX, Cinemora.
Whatever. It's $29.99, so it's $30. That's a pretty hefty thing. Now, this is a very beautiful game. It's a scrolling shoot 'em up game, like side-scrolling. And I got Justin Nation, Nindy Spotlight, Mr. Nindy himself, to give us a quote here. And he gave us a quote for sure. He said, or maybe it's Cinemora? I'm saying Cinemora EX. That's what I'm saying. Deal with it. Well, why don't you go ahead? You want to read it?
Sure. Cinemora EX is much prettier than its previous incarnation, and that's saying something, as it was always an attractive game. The other cornerstone of the original is back as well, and depending on how hardcore you are, will dictate whether that excites you or will scare you away. The brutal difficulty. They say they've toned down the normal difficulty, and that may be true, but I could see where the people who aren't heavily into bullet hell shooters would get aggravated pretty quickly with it. If you're into challenge, though, there's a ton of content to go over. Oh, and the story still makes abso-freaking-lutely no sense at all. The characters just come in and out, and they're different animals. It wants to be grim, they cuss some, just yikes. But you aren't buying it for the story.
Thank you, Justin. So that let loose, apparently, the original there was a previous incarnation, apparently. That shows how much I know about this game.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, like you said, it looks gorgeous. Now, $30, you said, a little expensive, right? But I'm pretty sure it's physical for $30 as well.
Really?
Because I believe I had it pre-ordered for a hot second. Yep, $30, you could buy it physical.
Oh, that's cool.
So.
Well, there you go. So check that. Man, I hope I see that in a discount bin then. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah, that seems like that might be something I would pick up on a discount too. Because I do generally like bullet hells, so.
Sure. All right, well, we have come to our last game, which just came out today. And that is, by the way, today is the 27th. And that is Arcade Archives. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, they always come out with Arcade Archives. Well, this is a Nintendo Arcade Archives, and that is for Mario Bros, baby. For $7.99. Hamster. Good for them. They're doing all those Neo Geo games, and now they're moving to the big boys.
Yeah, they showed Nintendo, hey, we know what we're doing. Give us your IP.
Yeah. So this is really fun. I downloaded it, and I played it, and it is quite fun.
I've downloaded it. I have not played it yet, but I will.
Yeah, well, yes, you will, because, well, we'll announce that later.
Probably in like 5 minutes' time.
Yep. But cool. So I'm really excited. I hope we get these. I hope, let's just put it this way. I hope they keep up with their normal quota.
Yeah. Oh,
Hamster.
Man. That would be awesome.
And release every single Nintendo arcade game ever.
I still laugh back to when we saw Hamster on the splash screen of like developers working for the Switch.
Who the heck is that? I know.
Little did we know it'd be the most prolific Switch developer of all time.
Yes. Yep. Good job. And it's weird because like the arcade archives, I mean, they're really using that. I thought they'd come up with something different, but it's the same menu and everything.
Oh yeah, that's the first thing I noticed was like, man, this looks just like a Neo Geo game.
Also, instead of a delete button at the end, it says rub.
Really?
Like when you're putting in your initials and you want to delete, if you accidentally hit, you go. There's no DEL. It's rub.
That's so weird.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, more on that next week. So now we are done with the eShop Roundup, but it's time for
My Nintendo Reminder.
Yep, we're reminding you that My Nintendo still exists, and it's funny because this is actually kind of like the most significant thing to happen in a while, and then on top of that, it's not really significant at all. Like this should have happened like a year ago, so it's one of those things. But there are 4 new games that you can turn your gold points in to download from here now. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds pretty cool. What games do we got? How about 4 Nindy games? All
for
right,
the Switch?
No. Nope. This is for the 3DS and the Wii U. There's 2 Wii U games. Yeah. Yeah. But that's okay because we got Zen Pinball 3D for the 3DS. You can get for 50 gold points.
I bought that game back in the day.
Sucker, could have got 50 gold points.
Should have waited. I knew it.
Now, what's the next one?
Next one is Super Little Acorns 3D Turbo for the 3DS for 60 gold points.
Oh, I bought that one.
Did you really?
No.
Wouldn't have surprised me. You look like a guy who likes little acorns. Take that how you will.
The next one we got here is Art of Balance for Wii U.
Do you need the balance board for that one?
That would be cool for 70 gold points. Now, this is made by the Fast Racing guys.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, gorgeous game. I mean, it looks like, how they make their games look so pretty, and it does. And this is a fun game. It really is fun. And because I have it, I got it for
Should have waited
cheap on a sale. I should have, but then again, I played it then, and I wouldn't have played it now.
Yeah.
But good game. 70 gold points.
Now, if you're a big spender, or I should say, if you're a big saver, and you got 90 gold points, you can turn that into Runner 2 for the Wii U.
Now that's a great game.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, I just like if they had done this when the Wii U was relevant, like people would have been elated. Like even if it was a game most people had, or like even if you weren't interested in Runner 2, it would still be good enough where people would be like, "Oh, like that's a prevalent indie game that people like. Like this is exciting."
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean it kind of, if they would do this could be like the Sony, and the
PS Plus.
Xbox Gold, PS Plus type thing. You know what I mean? Like it could be that we'll have 4 games a month. They're not free, but you can use your gold coins on them. You know what I mean? So then it's kind of like instead of paying a month, you're buying games and using gold. I mean, it could be a really cool program.
yeah,
And we'll see what happens. But
I'm not expecting much.
no, but you know what, Casey? Do we need any more games at all?
Oh, no.
No.
But now let me tell you, while we're on here, this is a little bit I actually just saw, and I was going to include it in the news section, but honestly, I think under the My Nintendo Reminder is actually a better place for it. My Japanese region Nintendo accounts just got, in their emails, it was like a little picture, and what it is phone cases that you could use your gold coins on. So now Nintendo of Japan is offering, here, I'm going to put it right in there for you to see. It's going to be in the show notes now.
Hey,
boom.
We have a Japanese lister, Danny.
Yeah, see, Danny could do these. Now, for those, obviously, who have not seen it, It looks like it's iPhone 8, 7, 6S, and 6 phone cases. 3 of them look like the squid, sort of actually like that headset. You remember the headset?
You mean like the squid phone that's in the game?
Yeah. Right?
Oh my goodness.
Did you see the picture?
Did you send it to me?
It's in the show notes.
I just got off it.
I just added it.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, so it's got it looks like like the arrow squid pointing.
Oh my goodness! It's just like the squid phones in the game that they have.
Then there's also a Sheikah tablet looking one, and then there's one that looks more like your standard normal phone case, but it has Splatoon 2 stuff on the back. Looks like an Inkling and sort of like almost graffiti style
Dude,
stuff.
that's so. Dude, I want one of those so bad.
Now, yeah,
I wouldn't use it, but it's awesome.
Now, I'm not sure. Obviously, the letter here is in Japanese, but it says it shows a picture of the gold coin times 50, and then underneath it's got some more Japanese writing, and it says 30%. So I don't know if maybe it's a coupon. You use 50 coins, you get a coupon for 30% off buying one of these.
Oh, I bet that's what it is. Yeah.
It might be that because 50 coins seems like sort of a low price for a physical item like that. But you never know. But physical items, come on, Nintendo. Come on, or I should say, come on, Nintendo of America. Bring it back. Bring it back. Let's go. Come on.
Let's go. Yep. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm a little worn out from this roundup, this reminding, and I would like to go on a vacation.
Yeah, man, I could really use a nice day to just throw the old feet up, kick back, and play some video games,
And I was gonna say this for your birthday next year, but
Next year.
I got you a ticket to the Villa Day discount.
Villa de discount. Villa de discount.
Now it's for 2, so you're gonna take me with you. Sorry, Kate.
I was gonna bring my Donkey Kong amiibo.
Your Sonic amiibo? No, wait, that's Dan.
Yeah, I don't have a Sonic amiibo anymore.
No, you don't. Dan has it. Okay, yes, welcome to the Villa Day discount. We have one selection today, which I think is a wonderful selection.
It's the only selection
deserves
you need.
attention. Okay, sure. What is it?
It is Thumper. And it is
That's right.
25% off, down from $19.99 to $14.99.
Yep, wonderful price. Get it. I will say that.
We both played this one.
Yes, and it's amazing. It's you're gonna want to play it surround sound, lights off. I mean, listen. Hear me out. Big screen TV, docked, Joy-Cons. For the motion or for the HD Rumble, all that jazz, and then you can actually take it with you also and play it on the go.
Use headphones though if you're on the go.
But here's the thing. This is funny because I wonder if this game helped change this. There was a problem where I could not hear the game. Like it was too quiet at my work. Like I even wear headphones and you can't get any sound out of those things because the Switch had a limit on how much volume it could push out of it. But they updated that to where you can go as much as you want, basically put as much volume out, which is very smart and made it so I could play this game. But I do love this game. We've talked about it before. Check it out.
Yeah, and just a quick synopsis. It's a rhythm game, but it's hard. It's really hard, but really, really satisfying too. So
Yep.
definitely check it out.
Really
Check it
hard,
out.
but also one of those games where,
It'll click.
if you mess up, it'll push you right back in a checkpoint that you right before, and you know what I mean. So you can push through stuff. So yeah.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, cool. Well, thank you for stopping by the
Villa de discount. Villa de discount.
Well, after a long vacation over at the villa, sometimes you just got to get back on that horse, huh?
Yep. But before you get on the horse, you can
You got to go pick them up from the saloon.
Yeah. Yep. So it's time for the YouTube Saloon. Yes, the YouTube Saloon.
And we got a
Now,
busy week.
Yeah. Yes, we do. And busy week coming up. And busy weeks coming up, I believe.
We got a busy life.
That's right. Let's talk about our challenge we have this week.
Yes, our challenge this week went up yesterday, so it'll be up while you're listening, and it is Coin Runners from Mario Kart 8, as we alluded to a little bit earlier on. But yeah, we jumped into some Coin Runners when added
That's
some.
from Mario Kart 8.
Yep.
Deluxe.
Added some computers, and we went toe to toe to see who could get the heaviest
Stack
pockets.
the most coins on their head.
Yes, sir. And we're not going to say who won, but it's definitely a good one. And like I said, it just reminded us how much fun Mario Kart is.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And the Talk Nintendo Mini Play this week is a double feature.
Ooh-wee. 2 for the price
That's
of
right.
1.
There you go. It is I played Galaga and Gradius on my NES Classic.
Gradius.
Is it Gradius?
I've always said Gradius, but it could be Gradius.
I've never played the game before, so yeah, I don't know anything about it. I do know something about it now, and you can watch me go through it and mispronounce it on there too, probably.
It's a fun game. I don't remember. I think I played for the Super Nintendo. I think it might be Gradius 3.
Okay.
That's the one. Yeah, I'm looking at screens. That's the one I grew up playing. A fun horizontal shooter, space shooter.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Yep. And Galaga is it Gaylagay? Or
It's
Gaylagay?
It's actually the G is silent, so it's just Alaga.
All right. Thank you. That's a fun, vertical shoot 'em up. So I think it complements well together. And you check it out.
So you got the best of both worlds with the shooters.
Yeah, there you go. Thought it would work well. Now we also have a long play.
Ooh, that's something new.
On there. Yeah, it's new. It's a walkthrough basically. I decided it's a walkthrough after playing it because I was like, this basically is a walkthrough of the first island on Kingdom New Lands. And I recorded it with my lovely wife Jill. We had a fun time, and Eleanor, my dog. And yeah, if you're interested, or if you need help, if you've got I have commentary over the whole thing, obviously, and yeah, check that out. And we've actually recorded the second island today.
Ooh, look at you!
A lot of fun.
Perry's hard at work on the old YouTube.
I am, because I also am starting today that this episode posts. We're starting another series of videos, and that is the basically we don't have a name for it yet, but mini play series, I guess.
Just full play, and they're almost sort of both in the same vein. I feel like where you're just you're going through the whole game, and you're gonna be uploading in chunks, so not to overwhelm people with like a full game,
totally.
But sort of fun to go along with you week by week to get little chunks.
Yep. Exactly. The idea is every week I will upload 2 episodes on Thursday, and they're each around 20 minutes long, of Metroid Other M. And I'm telling you right now, man, I love that game, and it's been so much fun revisiting it. And I just forget about how ambitious and cool that game is, and how mad I get that people that they hate on it because they don't even know what they're talking about. Sorry, I love that game. It's one of my favorite games.
I still have yet to play that game.
Yep, I highly recommend it, my friend.
I still need to get around to playing Samus Returns. And so many other games. Oh.
Me too. I know, isn't that funny that I literally am playing Other M and not playing Samus? I have played it a little bit, and it's really good, and I love it. I just haven't. Sometimes that's just how it works. But all right. Well, thank you, everyone, for listening to us ramble on like a bunch of drunkards at the YouTube Saloon.
That's neither here nor there. But you know what is here?
News Talk with Casey Gibson.
Now, to kick us off, a little Mario Odyssey news, and it's not maybe the news you would expect, but Best Buy pre-order bonus has gone up for Odyssey, and it is a really cool Mario coin. Have you seen this?
I have. It looks awesome.
Yeah, now, if you reserve the game from Best Buy and pick it up from Best Buy, you will get the coin. Now, for me personally, I pre-ordered the game a while ago, so I looked and I didn't see the coin there, and I thought, maybe I had missed the window to pre-order it and get that coin. But no, I looked. If you pre-order as of the day of recording, I pre-ordered it this morning. I canceled my other one and pre-ordered again, and it adds the coin into your cart for free. And yeah, and also if you have Gamers Club unlocked, you also you get your 20% off. But in addition to that, you get a $10 voucher or like $10 Best Buy cash back. So
What?
yeah, it's really a crazy deal to buy.
Can you get free shipping with that? Best Buy Gamers Club?
I think so. Maybe. I'd have to look.
Okay.
I mean, I could probably just do it and do in-store pickup to a location near you. You PayPal me the money, but we'll figure that out later. But
Okay,
yeah, the coin's really cool. So yeah.
My credit card number is 5. Okay.
555.
Dang it, Dale, that's not even enough letters.
And no, it's crazy. 1 month from today, and if you're listening to this, less than 1 month until Mario Odyssey.
Dude, I can't wait. And my wife is super excited as well. And I can't believe this year has another open world Mario.
So many
I can't
games, so
even
many
take
games.
it.
Now,
I'm still
talking about great games for the Switch, Mario and Rabbids is the Switch's best-selling non-Nintendo game. Now, you might probably say, well, it sort of is like a Nintendo game,
Yeah, except for it's called Mario
Yeah.
and Rabbids.
Yeah, so, and, technically, it's a third-party game. Obviously, they definitely worked with Nintendo
And
quite
they're
closely.
publishing it in Japan.
Yeah, so, I mean, but hey, I'm glad to hear that it's selling well.
Totally. I am very glad to hear that. Yeah, that's awesome. Now we have a little thing called Tokyo Game Show, and our some staffers, including Danny Bivens,
The
the Bivs, was over there covering it. I just want to mention that. And there is a game of the year that they picked there, and guess what it was? Splatoon 2. No, actually, I wouldn't be surprised.
Room in the night sky.
Ha what a funny joke. No, it's Zelda, Breath of the Wild. Yep.
No surprise.
Very well deserved. No surprise there, but good to hear. I'm glad it's not like some Dragon Quest game, like Dragon Quest 10.
Don't be hating on Dragon. No, I know. Yeah, a re-release.
I'm not,
yeah,
but it's just like
Skyrim.
Please. Yeah. All right. Well, now do you remember the GameCube demo for Mario
I sure do.
when it came out? And what was that called?
Wasn't it Mario 128?
It sure was. And guess how many years this past week marked for Nintendo's existence?
107.
Nope. I was trying to get you to it's 128.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, let me carry the 7. 107.
Yeah. Well, no, you need to minus the 1 from the 8, and then you've got 27 years. It's like, what?
But, yeah, that's awesome. I forget Nintendo is 128 years old.
Yeah, isn't that crazy to think about?
Yeah.
Like, dang, man. It's
very cool.
been quite a few years for the old Nintendi.
Yeah, glad to hear it. And I just love looking at like old pictures, like to think like in the 1800s.
Yeah, and
That's
they still make
crazy.
Hanafuda cards.
Isn't that beautiful?
I bought a pack
love Nintendo.
when I was at the Nintendo store, It probably wasn't the last time I was there, but maybe the time beforehand. But yeah, I've got a little pack.
I need to get one for
They're
sure.
expensive. I threw it on at the
No.
last second, like because they had them by the checkout. Like the cards are really
Uh-huh.
tiny, and I was like, yeah, you know, like heck yeah, like throw that on there. And then they ended up, I think it was like $15. I was like,
Whoa.
I was like, but I was like, well, it's too late to say no now.
Yep. The guy's like, no, it's not. And you're like, yes, it is. But this next piece of news is the best.
Yeah, it's not really news at all. But it was just a picture of John Cena with Reggie and I forget who the other person was, but just I love that John Cena is working with Nintendo because
Yeah, me too.
not only is he like I feel like he's almost meme status himself, just like John Cena, you know, like oh,
Yeah.
it's John Cena. But like
It's John Cena and Reggie Fils-Aimé, the meminators.
yeah, but he's also apparently like I've seen videos. He just seems like the super nice guy. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like he's a huge superstar, but like still seems like really humble and seems like a guy you could actually just talk to and he'd be pretty cool. And it was just funny that I was thinking as I looked at the picture, I'm like, not many people can stand next to John Cena and like make him not look that big. But then you stick Reggie next to him, and you're just like, wow. Like,
The Reginator,
like obviously
baby.
Reggie isn't as jacked as he is or anything, but like, man, Reggie's a big boy, you know?
Bite your tongue.
Yeah. His body is ready.
Yeah. Is John Cena's body Reggie? No.
It should be though.
All right. I'll take your word for it.
Now this next thing is it came out, and it's great. I'm happy to see this. I have not done it yet, but Nintendo has added a two-factor Wow.
Authentication.
Yes, that's the word. For Nintendo accounts. Now, essentially, you can add this to your account, which has you prompt to download the Google Authenticator, and it will provide you with a code when you're logging in, just to help prevent anyone from getting into your account. Just a little
Beautiful.
added bonus, which is nice. Is it something I'm gonna do? Probably not. Just because
But it's always there.
Yeah, I
It
don't.
can only help.
But you know what? Who knows? Maybe when it gets to a paid online later, not this year, but next year, early next year, maybe it is something that, maybe I will at that point. But for now, it's nice to just added security is always a good thing, especially when I feel like I just feel like not Nintendo, but video games can be targeted, quite a bit from hackers, like with DOSing and all that crap. So it can't hurt to have
Right.
some extra protection on there.
Right. All right. Well, this next bit of news we have, it's just a little update on Final Fantasy 15 on Switch. The director says there's no plans for it. He doesn't deny the possibility. He says they're focusing on the Pocket Edition and the PC versions of Final Fantasy 15 and performing various tests to figure out what they can make for the Switch, which that was a fan translation.
Yeah,
So interesting. To be honest, I don't care I don't really care about Final Fantasy 15 on Switch myself.
well,
But
it's
it seems like a lot of people would.
It's funny you say that because I don't either. In the sense that, looking at Final Fantasy 15, I heard comparisons with Xenoblade Chronicles X, sort of how it works, and that is not appealing to me at all. I would honestly rather them either bring over another, an older Final Fantasy game, or just completely a new direction, do a spin-off, bring back Crystal Chronicles, you know what I mean, with a new, fun, exciting, story and gameplay that way, would sound more appealing to me than Final Fantasy 15. The only exciting
Right.
thing about Final Fantasy 15 for me would be that, like you said, a lot of people I think would enjoy it, and if it sold well, it could mean more Final Fantasy down the road for us. But as far as actually me playing Final Fantasy 15, I probably wouldn't, to be honest.
All right. Well, we have another update on Doom
Woo!
for Switch. Yeah, we had Nintendo World Report had some gameplay videos that we put up. Jared Rosenberg got to play it, and he had some It's cool because it was handheld mode. It was footage of that, which I thought was really cool because I don't know. I feel like that gives you an idea of like what it actually looks like when you're playing in handheld. So you can see it, and it looked awesome. It has 30 frames per second, has a nice blur effect, and it's very impressive. And it's obviously not as good looking as other versions. I mean, it can't be like physically, But I don't think that'll matter at all to people that are gonna be like, I'm gonna play Doom on a handheld. This is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just impressive that, well, first and foremost, that game looks insane on a PS4. So the fact that they were able to scale it down even just a little bit, but, obviously it's not scaled down where it looks like crap or anything. It's just obviously the fidelity is not going to be as nice. Like you said, it physically can't do that. But it looked, despite it being 30 frames, it still looked very smooth. I think the blur effect they had on there sort of helps with that, you know what I mean, the frames per second. Like, the blur helps the 30 look closer to 60, maybe, like, even though it's not, There's no word if, when it's docked, if it's going to bump up in graphical fidelity or not. But, like you said, Doom on the go, if it's smooth and it plays well, and sure, it takes a tiny hit in the graphics department, I don't think people are going to mind too much. And you know what's just crazy to think about? We will be playing Doom on the Switch within 3 months.
That is nuts. Nutso.
As if 2017 couldn't get any better.
I know. It is a full-price game.
Yeah, I mean...
Which is interesting because it's very cheap on the other platforms.
Well, it's funny. I think I bought it for $20 on PS4, like, within 6 months.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, I'm curious with these third-party games on the Switch... Are they still, like, obviously we know, like, Breath of the Wild, that game's not going to be cheap until the Player's Choice Edition in 2 years from now when it's $30
No
or whatever.
way. They're not going to have one of those for Zelda.
Towards the end of the life cycle, they did... I think they will. But, like, are these third-party games going to hold water? You know what I mean? Like, will Doom, come June of next year, is that game going to be $20-$30? Or is it, going to have the Nintendo effect where, oh yeah, it has a sale, but it's only 50 or 40,
Right. I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know, because I feel bad, because it's like, well, I do want to support these third parties. I do want to get Doom, but it's like, for $60, like that's just kind of like a punch in the gut. It's because it's just, well, I can get it for like $15 on Xbox. You know what I mean?
But then you gotta play Xbox. Bull.
That's no, I hear you, but it's but it's just that conundrum.
Yeah,
it's like if it was $40, no question about it.
I think for me,
like if it was $39.99, boom.
Doom seems like the
$59.
Doom seems like the perfect Christmas gift game.
Yeah,
like a game I definitely want to play.
It's coming from someone who gets video games for Christmas gifts.
Yeah, well...
and I've never had once.
What better time than 2017? You just lay down the law. Be like, look, the year's 2017, the greatest Nintendo year of all time. I can't afford to buy all these games. Help a brother out.
Yeah.
And then Eleanor will be like,
hey, Casey.
Ruff, 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 ruff. And then she'll pick it up for you.
It's 2017. Help a brother out.
All right, man. I'll keep that in mind.
All right.
Well, there we have it. Now, as we were talking a little bit about physical releases earlier, we've got word that Shantae Half Genie Hero Unlimited Edition will have a physical release for the Switch. Another Nindy game getting a physical release is always a good thing in my eyes.
It released on the Wii U, for goodness sake. Physically.
Yep, and they're keeping up the trend over there at Way Forward, and I like it. I like it a lot.
Good for them.
We've got some
news.
Good
for them. Maybe I'll get that on a cheap sale as well.
That and Doom. Shantae and Doom. Next up...
They're basically the same game.
Yeah, I mean, they're both pretty gritty. Next up, we got Nintendo World Championships news. That actually just came out today. Andrea Renee will be the host. I don't know if you're familiar with her work at all. She's
Nope.
she's pretty popular. She's going to be the host, which is pretty cool. But they also said that Samus Returns will be one of the featured games played at the Nintendo World Championships. So that's sort of interesting. I wonder if it's going to be
very weird.
like a time trial, like
Speed run?
Yeah, like get the spider ball or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, is that what it's called?
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that, or who knows, maybe it might just be like I'm trying to think, maybe you pick up the game outside of a boss room and you need to fight a boss, it could just be something simple like that.
Yeah.
Now, they also said tickets will be free and open to the public, but as they stated, will be very limited. If you're in the New York City area, you can check out online exactly how to do it. You got to go somewhere by a certain time, and they'll be giving out, X amount. So if that's interesting to you, I'm hoping to be there.
Are you going?
I know Neil said that the site will have some media passes, so I'm hoping to snag one of those. If we don't know how many we're getting. If I don't get that,
Gotcha.
I'm going to have to see what the details are on the picking up a public ticket. Just because I would hate to go into the city and then not get one, it's just like deal with all that. But yeah, no, I definitely hope to be there.
All right. Well, we have some fun news this next one, and it's great because this is one of those, and it's available now moments, because Golf Story will make it in that September window.
Woo!
Yes, and it has launched Thursday, September 28th, and I cannot wait to play. This is one of the games that we've been very excited for. You especially, but me especially too. I just haven't really got a chance to tell, because I love me some mini golf in any sort of way, and I love me some RPG elements. So
The worst thing about this game is that I have so many other games I have to play right now.
Yep.
But no, I'm definitely picking this up tomorrow, and I will find some time to sink into this. It looks so good. Oh, and it's so funny that on the tweet that said it was coming out the 28th, it was just like a little gif of the game. And it's just like, this guy's on the green, it looks like, and he's chipping for some reason. And the cameraman is like literally like an inch in front of him. So he's chipping over the cameraman towards the hole. I'm like, what is going on? I was like, I can't wait for this game, man. It's going to be so good.
Yes. Well, another game that I don't know if we're very excited for. Are you? Maybe.
Yes and no.
Well, yeah, me too. Stardew Valley has been approved by Nintendo, and a launch date will be coming, and which I'm glad they're not releasing it tomorrow.
Until they're like, wait a second. Can you imagine?
And have fun releasing it. Just think about like, you don't want to release it in a few weeks either, because a certain new game is coming out that everyone will be buying. So. Yep.
Now, no, this game, like I said, it's obviously a very Harvest Moon inspired game, as you can imagine. That's definitely what they're going for. And it seems like a lot of fun. To me, it really depends. If it comes out in 2 weeks, let's say a little bit before Mario, and I've cleared up some of my other games, it might be something I pick up and play. I definitely want to try it. It just might be one of those games I end up sort of getting around to, maybe, not necessarily right on launch day, but eventually. Now, what is cool is I didn't realize that the devs had like a blog about all of the, like, with this game, and I guess the last couple ones have been posted about, obviously, with Switch development and how that's gone. So you could look up the dev blog for Stardew Valley on the wiki page if you want an interesting read, sort of behind the scenes of making and publishing a game. So I just thought that was pretty cool.
That is cool. Very cool. Now, this last bit of news that sounds pretty cool. We have another release date, which is Jackbox Party Pack 4 will be releasing on October 19th.
Yeah,
which happens to be my wife's birthday.
Is it really? Well, now you know what to get
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, totally.
And
That'll make her real happy.
they hit that sweet spot right before Mario. Get that out there. I mean, not that they're really competing in the sense of.
It's when you have all of your friends over and you're waiting for midnight to download Odyssey. You can play Jackbox Party 4.
There you go. Perfect.
Yep. Wonderful. Now, that's going to do it for our news talk. And we're going to take a little break. And when we come back, it's the topic of the show.
Yeah, and
Our top and bottom 5 SNES Classic games, son.
And just a quick before we go to our musical break here. That was pretty hearty. I didn't say it this week. Pretty hearty news section, if I don't say so myself.
Okay.
Just had to get that in there.
I agree. It truly was, yeah.
Alrighty, we are back, and with the SNES Classic releasing this week, we decided, we haven't really talked too much about the SNES Classic as far as the games on there, and, which games we might be excited for, which games we might not be excited for. We never did a wish list like every other single podcast in the universe did. So, we figured, what better time than, the leading days up to it to drum up some hype with our 5 most anticipated and our 5 least anticipated games. And, Perry, we haven't talked this out. Which do you think we should do first?
Let's do our most anticipated first.
Yeah, I think those were easier for me to nail down.
Yeah. Well, I'll go first. How about that?
Sure. Did you put these in any particular order, or did you...
Did you?
No. I just sort of... I mean, I guess, I sort of did, in the sense that...
let's do them, from 5 to 1.
Okay. So
Okay,
you go first.
All right. Number 5, Super Castlevania 4.
Now, this is a good...
Yeah, I've never played it before, so that's why I'm really excited. I've been wanting to bite the bullet on some sort of... I almost got it for 3DS, but something was holding me back, and you know what it was?
The SNES Classic.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that.
Now, should I give my 5? Do we want to do it that way?
Yes.
That might be. All right. Now, here I've got a runner-up. I've got a 6th man. That was that I
Nope,
I wanted,
just 5.
Nope, I wanted to make note and I had to. And that is Kirby's Dream Course, because that's a game I wasn't really even thinking about. And then I looked at it, I'm like, ooh,
Kirby's Star Course, right?
Nope, Dream Course, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Dang it, now you got me worried. I hope I don't look like some sort of giblet head. I think it's Dream Course.
Last time you're like, I'm 100% positive.
Yeah. That
like,
this
oh,
is the
wait,
development.
it's
Yeah,
not.
completely wrong. No, it's Dream Course.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't know anything about that game aside from that it is like a mini golf Kirby game, so I'm excited to try that. But number 5, it's a toughie because there's so many good games here. I want to say Star Fox 2. Now that's
I didn't put that in there. I thought we were. I forgot to talk to you about that. I thought we were just not even.
Yeah, I think
about
everyone's excited for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll get rid of Star Fox 2, and I'll go number 5, Kirby's Dream Course then. Perfect.
Beautiful. All right.
Yeah, because...
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, that might be on my list. Well, we will see. But my number 4 is Yoshi's Island.
Ooh.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Dang it, Perry. How are you looking forward to this game? Well, the fact is, I haven't played the SNES original game for 20 years. So, I am really excited to go back to the original Super FX, not GBA port of the game,
Oh, yeah, big time.
So, that's why I'm excited for it, because that game has the feels. It's gorgeous. Oh, the music. I did a Themesters with connectivity on Nintendo World Report with Greg Leahy on this game, and it was so much fun, and I love the music there. So, yeah.
No, it's a great game. It's actually funny that you were like questioning why that might be on your top 5 anticipated, because it is on mine as well. And I was trying to rank where it would go, and to be honest with you, 4 seems like a great spot for it.
Well.
Because, like you
Perfect.
said, it's a game that I have not played in so darn long. I definitely had Yoshi's Island, the Kart, when I was a kid. I went looking for it the other day, and I don't know where it is in that mystery box I'm missing. So, like you said, it'll be great to get back in there, played on the proper way it should be played. It's so beautiful, the music, it's just such a charming, peaceful game. I am
The colors and I can't wait to be playing it on a Super Nintendo controller, a brand new shiny controller on a brand new shiny screen that just looks gorgeous, and oh baby.
Yeah, no, that's one of my, as we've been ramping up to the SNES Classic, it's just slowly become more like, man, I cannot wait to get back into that game and play it a little bit, It is definitely going to be one that I don't know if I'll go back and beat the full thing, but that might be a game where, I got like 20 minutes, I'm going to chip in there and play some levels.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think it's hard to beat the full game if you try not to complete it. And that's what I'm not going to try to complete it,
Yeah, I'll get the 100%.
Because it's like impossible. Because it's like you have to do everything on the same run.
I tell you what, that's one of the most
I'm
fascinating.
no Greg Leahy.
Yeah, that's one of the most fascinating games to watch speedrun, because like 100% speedrun, dude, is insane. It's like a 2.5 hour run, I believe.
Jeez.
But it's really, that's, I like speedrunning. I mean, I don't personally do it, but I enjoy watching it from time to time. That was like the first game I watched speedrun, and it was like,
sounds awesome.
Yeah, because that game with like the shooting of the eggs and stuff, like there's some really
crazy things.
Yeah, craziness.
Yeah.
All right, number 3.
Well, on to number 3. And that would be Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Ooh, alrighty.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a big fan of the spin-off of this, Gargoyle's Quest. I said it was, I like Cheers, but I like Frasier more. And so, Gargoyle's Quest is the Frasier, and Ghouls and Ghosts is the Cheers, but I like Cheers too. And I've never played Super Ghouls and Ghosts at all. So I'm just looking forward to playing it. I think that it looks so much more better than Ghosts and Goblins, like it just looks like it runs better, and it's so much more prettier. So I'm excited for the challenge. I'm excited to have that rewind feature.
Oh yeah, that'll come in handy with this game.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's my number 3. What's yours?
My number 3 is Super Punch-Out. Now this is a game I've played before, but I'm like 99% sure it was on an emulator way back in the day, and it was one of those where, I've got all these ROMs, and Super Punch-Out, like I remember Punch-Out, and then you play it for like 2 minutes and then you stop. So it's definitely a game I really want to get back into and see what it's all about, because the first one is so dang good that, like, I don't know, obviously...
I feel like the second one just has to be awesome as well. And
yeah, obviously everyone remembers the original Punch-Out, and, like, not many people talk about the second one, so it might not be as good, but I'm still excited to get in there and sort of get my hands dirty and see what it's all about.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to say that this was my number 1 pick. But I think since we're already on it, might as well. Yeah, I've never played it either.
This is your number 1?
Yep.
Bang, baby.
Yeah, I'm looking really forward to it because it's like, to me, Punch-Out on NES was one of the most pretty looking titles. Huge sprites, and I always thought that was so impressive. I still do on when I play Punch-Out on NES. And I just think that, man, having the power of the Super Nintendo, I can't wait to see what kind of cool animations they do and stuff on that. So, yeah. But I will go to my number 2. If that's cool with you, then you can do kind of a...
Yeah, absolutely.
Which we've already talked about. It's Kirby Star Course, which I still haven't played either. Or Dream Course, sorry. I have that I don't know why it says Star Course in my notes, but
You know what?
Dream Course.
Because Kirby Superstar is also included, so maybe you just sort of mash the two together by accident, name-wise at least.
Yes. So all the reasons you said, I like mini golf, I like Kirby spin-offs, usually more than the games. So can't wait to play this one. I've only heard really good things about it. So.
Alrighty,
There
so
you
now
go.
we're up to my number 2 here.
Yep.
Number 2 I have as Secret of Mana. Now, this is a game I've never played, but I have listened to the soundtrack on YouTube, and it is insane how good of a soundtrack it has. And I've always heard good things about the Mana series. You know, the guys from Grezzo that made Ever Oasis sort of have roots back to the Secret of Mana series, you know, and somewhat,
There you go.
I believe the, you know, action RPG elements are sort of similar as well. So that's, you know, I really loved Ever Oasis, so, and I love the combat system. So to me, you know, that makes me excited to get in there and try out this game. So that was when I saw that was on the SNES Classic. I was stoked that this was going to be part of the collection.
I hear you.
Yep. Now, since you already said your number 1, you jumped out of the way. No,
Sorry, I thought we'd get out of the way.
no, that's okay. But my number 1 is, can you guess?
No.
Final Fantasy III.
Oh, interesting.
Now, this is a game that I've played before on an emulator way back in the day, and it was funny, I remember playing online with my friend. Like, he would take, like, one of the emulators had online connection, and, like, we were playing this game together for a little bit. Like, we each
that
took,
sounds
yeah, it
fun.
was sort of cool. But, no, it's a game, like, I'd put, like, a little tiny bit of time in, and I just never played it really a full through, and then I actually got it for Christmas. I have the cartridge, and I was going to get ready to play it, and then again, just things sort of came about and screwed everything up. So I'm making it a point to play and beat Final Fantasy III on the SNES Classic. I might not, like, when we pick it up on Friday, this might be a game I might not start for a little bit, you know? But I will beat it, because it's one of those games, pretty much, I feel like this year has been the redemption year for Casey, for RPGs, for classic RPGs. Chrono Trigger, Super Mario RPG, Final Fantasy III, all these games that have
Dragon
such...
Quest 7.
Yeah,
Or,
all these games with such, like, legendary pedigree, you know, that I was ashamed to never have beaten. I've been chipping them off my list, and Final Fantasy III, I've got my sights on you, you're next, and I will beat it. And I cannot wait. It's going to look great. I'm going to be able to stream, going to be able to record some of it. I cannot wait.
All right. Beautiful. Now it's time to get to our top 5 least anticipated
The stinkers.
SNES. The stinkers.
Which is
Now-
really tough to call them stinkers.
It's not stinkers. Yeah, let's just get that out of there, because all these games are amazing. And honestly, these are not games, remember, that we think are bad. They're games that we're least excited for.
And I think
That's-
we should start with like our 5 down to our most, or our least anticipated, I should say.
Yep. So I'll start again, since you were just jabbering on like some giblet head.
Since he won't shut up.
Yep. Street Fighter 2. I am just not a Street Fighter guy. Never have been. Now, I should say that I still do want to play this game, especially with the 2-player support. I feel like this will be a good 2-player game to play with other people. And it would be fun, because it's just like I can play with other people that really haven't played either, and we can just have fun with our own skills. And, you know, so, and it looks great. It's not the Turbo Edition, right, that everyone says, but it's like, that doesn't make a difference to me.
Well, it's
So-
weird. I actually heard, it's not even the best version of Street Fighter 2 that's on the SNES.
Yeah.
I don't know why they would do that, but maybe they just didn't want to take sales away from Street Fighter 2 for the Switch.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, that's a valid point. So, but anyway, yeah, that's my number 5. What's yours?
My number 5, I put down one game, and then I sort of put down /2 games because they're sort of like both. So pretty much, all right. So I put down Earthbound, and my reasoning is because I'm not going to sit down and play Earthbound on the SNES Classic when I can play it on the 3DS,
Right.
portably. And then but I also did like sort of / Super Mario RPG because I just beat that, 2 months ago. So these were really like
Gotcha.
the only like I pretty much I was at 4 games that I were like really could I was like meh about, and I was trying to figure out the 5th. So the other ones are more, better reasonings why I'm not anticipated. But
but that's right. These are weird reasons, right? Because it's like, like Super Mario RPG, like one of the best games ever. I mean,
and Earthbound,
saying it's like one of your least anticipated, and Earthbound,
it's
so
like
I totally get it.
I'm super stoked they're on there because they're essentials. You know what I mean?
Right,
and this might be the first time a lot of people play these games, and I'm so happy
Heck
about
yeah.
that. But yeah, for me, I've played them, and I will not be playing them again.
You know what would have been really cool? I wish they would have put Earthbound Beginnings on the NES Classic. I think
that would have been cool.
That's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it could have been like could have been similar.
2.
Yep, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Anyway, all right, my number 4. My number 4 is Donkey Kong Country.
Similar reasons to me maybe for my 5th.
It's just because I have it. I have the original car. I have a Retron. I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying recording stuff with you with it, even just lately. So it's just I'm not really.
It's just
looking
not
forward
there.
to it on my. It's just I've already played it, so that's really it though. It is one of my favorite games of all time. So.
Yeah. See,
no matter what Neil says.
See, games like that for me, I left not on my least anticipated because those are games I will go back. Like Link to the Past, one arguably could be my favorite game of all time. Spoiler, it's not on my bottom 5, but it wasn't on my top 5 because it's a game I'm sure I will play on the SNES Classic.
Right.
From times, But my number 4 is Kirby Superstar. Now, I'm just not a huge Kirby fan. I don't hate him, but I don't love. I've got no real strong attachment to him. I've played the 3DS Kirby games, and I played Canvas Curse. I mean, I've played a lot of Kirby games throughout the years, but yeah, they just don't jump off the page at me. And when you've got 20 other really good, or at least 20 other games that I could be playing instead, I'm probably going to skip over Kirby 9 out of 10 times.
So. Yeah. Now this, I figured we'd have some things cross-listed here, and that this is my number 2. But yes, for the same reason. And actually, I just played the Superstar Ultra Edition on DS because I got it on Craigslist.
Oh yes, the remake. Didn't they add some content?
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but I was playing through, and it's just not fun. I was not having fun. I just wasn't, and it's just too easy, and it's just like it feels like you're not playing a game. You're just kind of walking through. It's like
the old walking sim, huh?
Yeah, and I don't, you know what I mean. It's just like you're just there's no game. It's just go from left to right. I don't know. I couldn't get into it. So yeah, that's my number 3 or number 2.
All right, I'll do my 3. Then you can do your 3. Then we'll.
All right.
All right. So my 3 is Super Mario Kart. And honestly, it's just if I want to play Mario Kart, it's like I've got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sitting right there for me. I mean, not to say that the Super Mario Kart is a bad game by any stretch. It's just I don't know. To me, maybe we'll do a challenge of some sort, trying like a time trial on a course or something like that. Where
yeah, man, that'd be so much fun.
Yeah, where I'll dive in and I'll play some of it, but like when I'm firing up the SNES Classic, that's gonna be one of the games I'm gonna not play.
Yeah.
It just there's better Mario Karts out there.
Well, yeah.
I know it's a different style. Great. I get it.
We just talked about this with Alex, Mr. Panda, I believe. I think this was the last Mr. History we played.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Or one of them. But yeah. I totally get it. It's just one of those games where I've played it. It's not super exciting. We've had multiple opportunities to play it. I hear you. So, all right. My number 3 is F-Zero.
Ooh. See,
Yep.
I thought about that. Like, I was like, F-Zero, I like F-Zero, but to me, like, I would much rather revisit old F-Zero than, like, old Super Mario Kart.
Sure, I get that. I mean, I have it on my Wii U. I've had plenty of chances to play it, and I love the game. You know, I think it's a cool game. It's impressive. I just saw a quote or somewhere saying that Super Mario Kart was going to be F-Zero 2 originally. Interesting.
Really?
But anyway, it's just a game I've played a lot. I'm just not excited for it. That's all.
You know what's funny about F-Zero for Super Nintendo? It
What's
was
funny?
my brother's friend let us borrow it, and I still have it to this very day.
That's awesome.
Free F-Zero.
Yeah.
All right,
So what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Oh.
Which, I think this might be our only game was on your top list and on my bottom list. I don't know. Ghouls and Ghosts, that was on the NES Classic, right? I think I played and it just was like I'm all for a difficult game, but like to a certain extent, it's
too
just like
it's just not fun.
Yeah, so maybe they made some changes for Super Ghouls and Ghosts, but I don't know. It just honestly one of those ones where I was like, oh, like cool, it's on there, but yeah, unless if we're trying to do some sort of crazy, let's see how many times Casey could die in Super Ghouls and Ghosts. You know, I don't see myself really.
I don't know, man. I
diving
feel like
too
with that
deep.
the rewind feature and stuff, I just feel like you could have some fun with it. You know what I mean? The thing is I'm figuring that it's going to be easier because it's on the Super Nintendo and it controls better and it runs better than Ghosts and Goblins. So it's just a curiosity to me. So, but yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, and it's notorious for being super ridiculously hard, and but I know some people love it. So, all right, well, I guess it's time for my number 1 then. My number 1 most least anticipated game. Now, it's funny that most least.
I know it's tricky.
I know it's weird. It's funny you mentioned that this is our only cross listed on vice versa where Super Ghouls and Ghosts was on my most and it's on your least. But funnily enough, my number 1 least anticipated game, Final Fantasy 3, which is your most anticipated game.
Yeah, literally the furthest away they could be.
Yep. I've never played a Final Fantasy game, and I never will. It's not that I am against it. It's just I have no time, and I feel like it's too late in life to ever catch up, I also just don't really have I just don't really care about Final Fantasy. I didn't grow up with it, so I don't really dig the aesthetic that much. Like, if anything, I'd do a Dragon Quest, maybe. Mm-hmm. But, yep, just not looking forward. I just don't want to play it, so it doesn't really. I'm glad it's on there, but.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I might play it. I might play it someday, but yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's also like a super long game, or actually, I don't know how super long. I think it's probably like a 30-hour game, which for RPG standards isn't like the longest of all time, but that is still a long time to commit to a game, especially a game that you're going to need to be by your TV, you know what I mean, to play.
Right. Exactly.
So it definitely is. I could see why that would be a little lower on the list, or or the lowest on the list.
Now, what's your lowest?
My least anticipated is Street Fighter 2.
Oh.
Yeah,
right.
It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's a 2D fighter. Not that that's a bad thing. Not my favorite. Not my cup of tea.
It's just not even the best 2D fighter of that game.
Yeah, not even the best version of it. And like you said, I'm probably not going to be playing with anyone, in a 2D fighting game on my SNES Classic. So
You're not gonna play with Caitlin?
no, I don't think she She likes, ironically,
You
she
should-
likes Tekken, like Tekken Tag Team.
Well, you should play it with her and record it.
Yeah, she'd probably kick my butt.
Be awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, no, just a game, like you said, good that it's on there, adds some diversity to the lineup, but a game, honestly, if there's one game on there that I could see myself never firing up, that's the one. And
I hear
then
you.
that's why it's got that distinctive title as the least, or I should say, the most least anticipated.
I love it. The most least, baby. All right, well, that'll do it. I know that I am very looking forward to picking my SNES up, and it'll be awesome. And everyone, it's like 21 games now. Yeah, like I said before, Star Fox 2 is my most anticipated. Really, I just kind of took it off the ballot.
Yeah, I think.
Looking forward to playing that.
Yeah, I think that's safe to say everyone is at least curious, if not excited for it. You know what I mean? Just the fact that a 20-year-old game.
I just like the fact that it's out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's been getting some pretty good reviews, mixed reviews. But Neil really liked it on our site, so you should check out his review at NintendoWorldReport.com, which is where we are hosted. In case you didn't know that. And you can find our article there with all of our podcasts there.
And all of our reviews we've been chipping away at.
That's right. So thank you for listening, everyone. We really appreciate it. If you could give us, if you want to send us feedback, anything, comments, tell us about
bills.
the games you're playing. Tell us about the games. Yeah. Tell us about the games you're playing, and we can feature it in our What We've Been Playing, or eShop Roundup, and we love it. We love bringing us together. Reach out to us on Twitter. You can find us at Talk Nintendo Pod. That is Talk Nintendo Pod.
Yes, sir. And also, we are more than happy to take your suggestions for mini plays as well. I think we're gonna start
or challenges. I would love to get a challenge request.
Yeah. Like I said, we can come up. I feel like we've been doing pretty good job of coming up with topics and games to play, but we always are down to listen to what you guys want to do. So, always feel free to hit us up.
Wonderful. All right. Well, I think that'll do it for the episode. I guess we will see you on episode 54.
We'll see you next week, guys.
Giddy up.
We want the days of the Wii U, dang it.
Go kill yourself.